Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Ken Johnson. So today we're doing a talking session. So if you've been on YouTube for any length of time, every year, right at about the new year, YouTube does a end of year review, and most content creators, they'll do an end of year review. I'm not going to do that. They stopped it this year. This first year that I never got one of those where it tells all the different stats and all that. They never sent it. And frankly, I'm not going to try to do it. Instead, I thought we'd just do a nice little talk. These videos don't normally perform well, but I've got a lot that I need to get off my chest, a lot that I need to say, and I want to talk to my subscribers. So last year about this time, YouTube did something that blew me away. Not good. What they did is they deleted out half of my subs. So it was without warning, without any explanation. They said we can delete out whatever subs we wish. We have total autonomy. We can do whatever we want. And too bad, so sad. That's it. So YouTube sucks. And if you read around, there's a whole host of reasons why, and some of it could be bots. So if I happen to have gotten some bots subscribed, because sometimes I'll get these weird comments that make no sense, and what I've learned over time is that there are bots that will just subscribe to your channel, or they'll post, and it's for something that some company, some weird whatever that they're trying to promote. So it could be that. Another one is that if you're they instituted a new thing. If you haven't posted in like 6 months, you haven't watched in 6 months, that they will delete your channel out. So I've had a lot of content creators tell me this year that they got warnings that if they don't post something soon, that they'll be deleted. And I had some that they were doing like every 6 months to every year posting something, because their content requires a lot of research, things of that nature. And so they started posting about every 3 months, doing updates and things that nature, and YouTube still told them, so that's still not enough. So YouTube, they change the rules as much as they want, and you have no control over the matter. Now, if you're watching on a different platform, please forgive me. Like Rumble, I don't make any money off of Rumble. You'll never see a content creator with a RV going down the road, or some type of big rig of some sort, giant boat, whatever, with Rumble, their Rumble channel instead of their YouTube channel. And that's because Rumble is just a platform that does not take care of its creators. It is, while they offer free speech, which YouTube doesn't, Rumble really and truly is useless. By the same token, so is Odyssey. Odyssey has quit paying their content creators. They're trying to do crypto again. That's what got them in trouble first time. And yes, I believe that how they got trouble with government crypto was wrong, and it was a reactionary court that said they didn't have a right to their day in court because the government was well versed on laws, and that you should be able to exercise your constitutional right to contest what the government says. That's wrong, and I totally support Odyssey in the fact that they were wrong, but their leadership is dumbo. It will never be a viable platform, and I wait for one day for them to be bought out by somebody who knows how to do social media right, because it will be a great platform if they could ever get the right leadership. And I think content creators would gladly move over from YouTube to Odyssey if they had some decent leadership, but they don't. And nobody really won't put the money in it to go against Google, aka YouTube. So there's that. But I did want to at least talk about some things. I've got 10 points that I want to talk about. I don't normally do a scripted talk, but I do want to have some talking points wrote down. So please bear with me if you ever see me looking down. I'm looking at my notes. Yes, I have glasses. I went to the eye doctor a few months back, As you know, I have 2 channels. In addition to this channel, I have Feather Paintings with Ken Johnson, or Feather Painting with Ken Johnson. I'll put that down here. I also have Cooking with Ken. I'll put that down there. And I always painted without use of glasses. I started having to use my glasses. The glasses were not enough. Went to the eye doctor. Finally, the eye doctor said, "Don't worry about getting a pair of glasses. I'm not going to give you a pair of glasses. I'm going to give you 2." Yeah, so now I've got transition glasses, 2 different pairs. This is my work glasses and my artwork glasses, and then I got regular glasses I have to wear all the time. As you'll notice on my videos, a lot of times I won't have glasses on, and that's because I just hate glasses. I hate contacts more, but I hate glasses. So if I do it without needing glasses, I try not to wear them. But in this case, I'm needing them, so you're seeing my glasses. So one of the reasons why I want to talk about this channel is talk about what we do. As I said, last year, they removed half my subs. Since then, we went well above what they deleted out. And that has been organic. I've done nothing. It's all been organic. And one of the major drivers of all this was back May 28, 2025, I posted a video that was talking about these magic glasses that could see from 100 to 7 diopters or 100 to 700 degrees. They kept changing it up. The AI voice, not the person, AI voice speaking as a person, speaking a script. The person that wrote that script did not understand how degrees work, and they did not understand diopters. And I blew those ads apart. I bought the glasses knowing I was going to be scammed. And other than running over it with my truck, and people got on to me and said, "Why did you not run over with your truck?" I said, "Because it added nothing but entertainment value. It was not telling you what actually happened." So I did some stuff wrong, didn't get a good camera angle for a lot of that stuff. It was not my best video, but I was the only content creator that actually bought the glasses. And because I was the only one that bought the glasses, I was rewarded many times over. And so a lot of the subs that we got came from that one video. In fact, looking over it, we have had 68,000 views just off of that one video. That translates into 5.5 thousand watch hours. So to be monetized, you have to think you need 1,000 subs, 4,000 hours of watch time. So with that one video, I would have, if I wasn't monetized already, I would have been monetized almost immediately. And it translates into 417 subs, and that increases daily. So I looked at the numbers yesterday, and I'm sure I've grown to probably over 420, 425 subs today alone. And this is Monday, so next day. Now, since then, I've also done a lot of auto videos, those automotive repair videos, detailing, installing lights, things of that nature, and I include my boat videos with auto videos. They have generated almost the exact amount of subs and watch hours as that one glasses video. So I've done multiple ones. And I say multiple, I say about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. And they produce about the same as that one video. And so I've got a lot of subscribers from the automotive stuff. I've also done a lot of repair videos. So like home repair, fixing a toilet, installing a bidet, fixing the light fixture, all those little home repair things that I do around the house, and I'll do a video on it. And that's about 5 or 6. Not a lot, not a crazy amount. They have produced about the same number as the glasses video, the magic glasses. So I've gotten a lot of subscribers that want me to do like medical device reviews. I don't do that. I've had a lot of subscribers that they want me to do reviews and fix vehicles and fix boats and things of that nature. I don't do that. Then I had others that they wanted me to do homeowner repair, fixing the rug, fixing the toilet, changing our toilet. They want me to do those videos. I don't do that. And then I do a lot of fishing videos. I want to do some hunting videos in the future because I love hunting. And people are like not really subscribing, not really supporting that. But I've got a contest going on right now with Preacher's Creatures. And so I've got a video. I will link that video in the description. And I'll put it at the end of this video as well. And I've gotten a lot of subs from that. And that's fishing stuff. Everybody's like, well, I want you to do fishing and outdoor stuff all the time. I don't do that. This is a life channel. It is listed as a personal vlog. In the analytics of YouTube, I list it as a vlog. This is my life. I am the weird, crazy, quirky uncle that you go to visit, see what I'm up to. And I sometimes do stupid stuff. I sometimes do funny stuff. Sometimes I do very serious stuff.
Next level.
But don't expect, if you subscribe to this channel, don't expect me to be a niche content creator. If you want niche stuff, I have 2 niche channels. That's Feather Paintings with Ken Johnson. That you can go to that one, and it's all feather painting all the time. I paint on feathers. That's what I do. So this right here, hard to see it, but that is what I do on that channel. So if you want to see niche, that's niche. That's what I do. I just paint on feather. I don't do canvas. I don't do any of that. I paint on feather. I have Cooking with Ken. If you want to do that, again, it's right there. Cooking with Ken. It's all cooking. I sometimes ferment stuff. I sometimes make alcoholic beverages, or I'll make a mixed drink or something like that. But if you want to see food and drink, that's what Cooking with Ken is. And it's whatever I'm doing in the kitchen. So those are my 2 niche channels. This channel is my life channel. This is my personal vlog. This is where I'm just showing you what I'm doing for the day. Another thing that I get a lot of subs from and a lot of people coming in is content based off of reviews. I have a lot of companies that they reach out to me. I don't get a lot of subs from it, but you'll see that a lot. And I'll talk about that in the future. So if you noticed, I hadn't done a lot of content on any 3 channels. The last thing I posted on the cooking channel or the feather painting channel has been almost a month ago. And with this channel, you don't see me doing a lot. That's for a number of reasons. First off, this time of year is when your analytics tank. People are not watching YouTube, and anything that you post just goes into a pit of despair. That's the reason why I feel good about doing this type of video versus doing it in summertime. You're not going to get much. you're not going to get the bang. The algorithm is not pushing you stuff. It's just a dead zone. You're just trying to survive. But I've also been very busy. I've been doing 2 quotes. I had a government agency reach out to me, and there are 2 separate projects that they want me to do a quote and submit an art proposal for my feather paintings. And so I'm setting up those proposals. Both of those will be just under $50,000, those 2 proposals. And they will be under 50 paintings, around 40 paintings, more or less. That's part of my proposal. And I have 3 months to get those paintings painted and delivered for them to be installed. So if it happens, I'm going to be very busy towards Christmas because everything's got to be done before Christmas. So I've been working on those 2 proposals. So you're probably not going to see much content from me. I do have things that I'm working on. I do have things I need to edit that I did last month, but I've just been so busy that you're probably not going to see that much. One of the things I want to talk about was that I do have a trip planned in March to go to Jacksonville. That's a big fishing trip planned for me. Unfortunately, right before I did this video, I had to drop off my wife's car to the mechanic. And unless I am very blessed and very fortunate, that's going to eat up the savings I had for a Jacksonville trip. So I may or may not even be able to do a Jacksonville trip. Well, I'll find out later. So it'll be a few days before I find that out. But tentatively, I'm still planning to go to Jacksonville come hell or high water in March. I won't lie, money's been tight. In case you don't know it, I am a mediator by profession. And a mediator is not a judge, but I have judicial immunity. We don't make decisions for you, but I help you reach a decision. It is a regulated profession. So that means that in order to be at the level that I am certified, I needed to have special training that cost thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. And then I had to have a master's degree and all this other stuff that really, other than trying to make it exclusionary, has no bearing on anything. And so, yes, I have a master's degree in business administration. I used to do small business advising until I realized that most small business owners don't have the wisdom to listen to the advice of someone else. They think they know everything and want to blame everybody for their woes instead of trying to find solutions. And so I quickly exited the small business sector and stuck to mediations, conflict resolution. I can do conflict management, but most businesses really don't care about the cost-saving potential of conflict management because it requires them to change their processes, and no one wants to change what they're doing. So the problem, though, is that we've had a lot of changes without a change in pay. So, as I was saying, we had a lot of changes, but there's been no change of pay for decades. And when I say decades, I'm talking about the 80s. So, decades. And I'm certified with the USDA, the Florida Supreme Court, for Family Circuit County. I'm also certified with the Department of Financial Services for the state of Florida, and I also do mediations for the state of Hawaii. So that is pretty complex stuff. You think about mitigation, wetlands mitigation, farm crop loss, farm insurance loss, whether or not you're considered a canning operation versus a production operation versus a sorting and packing organization. If your house, multi-million-dollar house, got blown away, I am the one that you talk to when the insurance company says, nope, we're not paying for it. Or they want to say, we'll give you $1,000. I'm that guy. You're getting divorced. You and your spouse are fighting, you gotta come see me. That's kind of the stuff I deal with. Very, very, very fun. I enjoy it. Problem is the pay. So you think about it. Let's say that your house gets blown away by a hurricane. You go to mediation because that's one of the requirements. Well, let's say that your home is worth. Let's say it's a small home, very small home, and the claim is only $100,000. All right, so very small. I get paid 0.3% to mediate that claim. Let's say that we got you a check and we got you $100,000. They're going to honor that $100,000, and I get it all settled for you. And I spend hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it takes, and I get it handled. That I help the insurance company and help your side reach an agreement. We do $100,000. If you have a public adjuster, they're going to get $20,000 out of that $100,000. If you have an attorney, they're going to get anywhere from $33,000 to $40,000 out of that money. Just to send out somebody to investigate whether or not what the value of the claim is, the insurance company is going to spend anywhere from 1 to 2% of the value of that claim to have somebody just look at that property. I get paid 0.3%. Now, it's a set fee, but if you do the math, 0.3%, you know how much I make on a $100,000 claim. Let's say you get divorced and state brings me in and says, we want you to mediate this claim. I'm going to get paid, let's say it's, whatever. I'm going to get paid about 0.2% to 0.3%, really about 0.2% on every $100,000 of the value of the assets and everything. And that's for 3 hours. Hawaii, 2.5% on every 100,000. And it's not, these are set fees. So I'm just using 100,000 so you kind of get an idea how much I'm getting paid, because it's not a rate based off of the value of the case. I get paid a set fee. If it's the USDA, 0.06% on a $100,000 claim. I have to have a master's degree. I have to have all these certifications. Right now in March, my certification's coming up, and I've got to get all my education together, pay the several $100s in fees, do all the proving that I've done everything I'm supposed to get paid wages that haven't changed since the 80s. And you would think that the elected officials would do something. They don't. They don't care. So money's been very, very tight. So right now, DFS is really a mess right now. It's totally mismanaged. Really and truly, I'm at a point now, unless we get a new leader in the DFS, one that will listen. We get some legislators that will listen and change the Florida statutes. We get some congressmen that listen, they up the rates for the USDA. Me being a mediator, my chosen profession, I worked for government for 20 years. And then I got certified as a mediator about halfway through my time in government. I've been mediator for about 20-something years now. So this is my life, my livelihood, and I've watched it diminish over time to the point that it's not paying the bills. And I'm going to have to figure out something. I don't know what to do, be honest with you. If I could get 10,000 subs per channel, it would mitigate this. It would mitigate the losses. Right now, the YouTube does not pay me enough to cover the cost of producing the video. I actually go in the hole doing YouTube. People knew how many hours it took to edit and how many days it took to film. Just so you got a 10 or 15 minute video to watch, they'd be floored. And the costs. I've got one video right now. I'm not done with it yet. Still filming. That one video will cost me, not counting editing, just supplies, everything else, I will spend over $300. And when I put in the editing and everything else, that's $1,200. Now, yes, I am the editor. Yes, I'm doing a lot of the work myself. So that'd be $1,200. And I'll probably never make the money back. Very few videos actually pay back what I put into them. It is a net loss at this point. Some videos pay, and that covers the cost keep doing YouTube. If I could somehow grow my feather painting channel and my cooking channel and this channel and do 10,000 subs each, that would produce enough income to offset the costs and make it somewhat profitable and fill in the gap where I'm losing with my regular job. If I increased it to $20,000 to $50,000 or 20 to 50,000 subs, not $50,000, I wouldn't be making that much, but it would become profitable, a profitable endeavor that be worth investing more into, buying more equipment. Right now, I can't even afford the editing upgrades I need. So, with that said, I do have a bunch of, for lack of a better word, bucket list items for this channel. Now, I have bucket list items for me. That's not for this channel. It's just for me. Like, I want to go to New Zealand and go kudu hunting because they have this neat little thing where you're in the mountains, and when you shoot your kudu, they have a little black helicopter and they drop down and they take it off for you. And I think that's freaking cool. And I think a kudu is the most beautiful animal that God ever created. And so that is a bucket list item for me. New Zealand, all the pictures are breathtaking. I'm trained in restorative justice. So a lot of my training is based off of New Zealand. When I graduated college, I actually did a job over in New Zealand doing restorative justice, working part-time between America and New Zealand. That is really something where my heart really is. I want to go there one day just to visit and to hunt, and that's my personal bucket list. You want to say the one thing that would have me blown away and that I could die a happy man, that's it. But for this channel, I don't have such lofty goals. So if you remember back last year, I did a dam fishing trip.
Well, we're at the dam. Got Austin with us. Hello. Oh, a good blue.
Yeah, it's a nice
one.
one.
Channel. All right. Well, guys, we had a pretty bad day on the water right here. You know, like I say, it's a bad day. I told Austin quit catching these babies, and he wouldn't listen. He's addicted to catching these babies. You need to let them go so they can grow. But sorry, couldn't get any more except for these right here in the cooler.
And the only way that we was able to do that was through generosity of a friend of mine, Austin Watson. He paid for the lodging. I paid for the gas, and I provided the boat, and he provided lodging. And just because I had a really good friend that was willing to go in and help me with that was able to perform or produce a good video. And even though the weather was atrocious and I ended up burning out my trolling motor and we had all sorts of issues and problems, that was a fishing trip I don't think he or I will ever forget. We caught some of the biggest giant catfish I've ever seen in my life. So on this bucket list, one of the things I want to do is to upgrade my kayak situation. My wife loves kayaks. Me, not so much. I'll go out in them. I really don't like them that much. The scuppers, I get wet all the time. And back in 2019, I got into a horrendous automotive accident. It folded up the truck like a taco. I ended up having to get nerve burns on my neck. I had traumatic brain injury. Messed up everything from my head all the way down my back. I still have pain to this day from it. I'm still recovering from the accident. And so when I go out into a boat or I go out on a kayak, it takes me about 3 to 5 days to recover. You never see that. But I do love to fish, and a kayak is a wonderful way to fish. It's a lot better than a boat. I do have a boat, but when you just want to go out by yourself, a kayak is a lot more handy. But that chair in that Pelican Catch 100 is horrible. And I really want something more electric. I would love to upgrade to either a pedal kayak or electric kayak. And so the idea is that I thought about modifying the Pelican. And every time I look at modifying a kayak, it's about $3,000. I was watching Creek Fishing Adventures, and the guy that does that channel, he actually modified a kayak. He bought the kayak, bought all the parts. It was right at $3,000. He's run into the same issue I ran into. I didn't even pay that much for my boat. So then I've looked at some pedal kayaks. And if you're a content creator that's a lot bigger than me, about 10 times bigger than me, so figure about 20,000 subscribers, you get to that range, kayak companies will come to you and they'll offer you a free pedal kayak, usually. Feel Free is one of the ones that does that. And the kayaks that they offer run about $3,000 to $5,000 for a pedal kayak. And I just don't want to pay that. There is one that's around $1,000 from Academy. That it's their own brand, Magellan. It's actually produced by Dagger, which got bought out by the Pelican Kayak Company. And that one is $1,000, but it's very tippy. It's very small. Not something I really like. So if you've never watched Gator Outdoor Adventures, Gator is a guy that I believe he lives in South Carolina. Cool dude. And he uses a small boat made by Warrior one-man boats. And I've had problems with Warrior a while back trying to get in touch with him. And so Gator gave me his number and put me in touch with the owner of the company. And the owner of the company called me up. We had a very good conversation. They're a small company. They don't have a lot of distribution. And we worked out a deal where it's nothing any different than what you could get. So it's not like I'm a big content creator throwing around my weight. That's not what this is. This is something he would do for everybody. And we got talking about rates, and the most expensive one that he offers is camouflage, $2,500, which I would love a camouflage one. But around $2,000, $2,300, you can get one that's olive drab green, which I don't have a problem with that either. His one-man boats are roughly the same size, actually a little smaller than my Pelican, but they're high-sided. They have foam in them. They don't have the scuppers. They have a live well. They have a seat that rotates that's a lot more comfortable than that Pelican. And it comes with a 50 foot-pound of thrust trolling motor. And it's all hand controls. So in the next 2 years for my channel, I'm thinking about working with Warrior and getting me a one-man boat. I don't have the money now. I can't get it now. I'm fixing to go to Jacksonville. I wanted to go make a dam fishing trip. I'm not going to have the opportunity to go fishing at the dam. So it's either Jacksonville or dam. I chose Jacksonville. So I'll be going to Jacksonville. Won't be able to do the dam at all, more than likely. And it'll probably be next year before I get the money, if I'm lucky. If the economy stays the same it is, my income stays the same it is, the government mismanagement stays the same it is, it may be longer than 2 years. But that's what I'm shooting for. So I want to get me a Warrior one-man boat. That's either that, or if a kayak company's listening and they got a pedal or electric kayak with a good seat for somebody with a back issue, and for a big guy, I'm 6'2", roughly 250 pounds. So if it can handle somebody like me, and they want to work out a collaboration deal that is doable, I'll do that. But I want to have some type of new kayak situation going. And Warrior always says that they're a one-man boat. I say it's a kayak because I'm going to treat it like a kayak. So if we do work out something other, I'm going to treat it like it's a kayak, because you can put it in your boat, or not in your boat, you can put it in your truck, and I may actually put it in my boat and take it some areas I can't take my boat in. It's like I would do with a kayak. So just be aware of that I treat the Warrior one-man boat as a kayak. It's a glorified kayak. I don't care what the owners say, it's a glorified kayak, and that's the way I treat it. But I want that. The other thing is, I talked with Python Cowboy. I don't know if you've ever seen his channel, but Python Cowboy, he just lost his dog Otto last year, and I felt it for him. Let me say it that way. Otto was special, and I wanted to see Otto probably more than I did want to see the content creator with Python Cowboy. That dog was one in a million. But Python Cowboy has this neat operation, and for about a few $1,000s, let's just, I won't say the exact number, but for a few $1,000s, I could go, and he or somebody with his company, because he didn't guarantee me that I would have him on my channel, that they would take me out and we could actually go shoot iguanas, and they would provide all the equipment. So it's on a boat. It would be with air rifles. And I mentioned that I want to do Canadian geese. I want to shoot some Canadian geese. I want to shoot some other invasives. And he told me, he said, well, I would include that for free. So with the Warrior one-man boat, Gator told me that if I bought a one-man boat from Warrior, that he would actually go on my channel and we would test it out, which I think is amazing. That's worth the price of admission there anyway, to have Gator on my channel. It's, as a content creator, it'd be worth it to me to spend the $2,500 and go through the registration process with my county, get it registered, and have Gator do a fishing trip. It's worth it. So that's one opportunity to have a big name on my channel. It's worth the price of admission. Python Cowboy, if I could get him, it would be well worth the price. If I didn't get him, they're still using Otto's children. So Otto, he did sire some litters, and they're training them. It'd still be worth it for the content, but if I got Python Cowboy on my channel, that would definitely be worth it. He can't guarantee it because he's a content creator, he's busy, I understand. I'm small apples. They said there is a likelihood that he might do it himself. And he's very honest with me, very candid. I like people that are honest. And if I get Python Cowboy on the channel, that would be worth the price of admission. So, and I want to go shoot iguanas. I think that some of my viewers want to see me shoot iguanas. I want to hunt Egyptian geese. I think some of my viewers would want to watch me hunt Egyptian geese. I would like to paint on their feathers. And I think that would help my feather painting channel to show the Egyptian geese. And like, yeah, I actually hunted and harvested this bird. And you can buy this invasive bird's feathers, and you're actually helping the environment of Florida while getting quality artwork. I could see, if I had the money, I could see that being a great thing. So in the next 2 to 3 years, understanding that his rates are going to go up and the price of everything's going to go up, I want to start planning to do something with Python Cowboy and his company specifically. And then I want to do that. I also want to go down to South Florida and fish for tilapia. I want to fish for snakeheads. I want to fish for Mayan cichlids. If you ever watched some of the Mayan cichlid videos, they have pilings and they will fish. They'll drop it down and fish like they're fishing for sheephead. And they're pulling out Mayan cichlids that big, like it's a sheephead. And they're like a orange coloration of a sheephead. They're very similar in color. And these massive, deep-dwelling Mayan cichlids have taken over to a point now they're as big as sheephead. And I'd love to go fish that and catch some of those. So one trip down to South Florida, I could easily break that up into 3 to 7 different videos. And I would love to just travel for a week and go down and film and get some great content hunting and fishing. That's what I would love to do. There, I've also had the opportunity before to catch peacock bass. I've never actually caught any peacock bass, saw them swimming, but they get thrown at so much. So I'd love to find somebody that maybe is a content creator, maybe as small as me, somewhere along that lines, and we go out and collaborate and catch some peacock bass. So that's another thing. I didn't mention peacock bass, but that's also on the radar. So maybe some spear fishing of plecos or fishing with a sling boat, something like that for plecos. I'd be willing, or armored catfish. I'd be willing to do that. Probably this year or next year. I want to do a video where I rent a houseboat and we go on the St. Johns River. That is something that the wife is interested in. She wants to do more RVing videos. I've done 2 RV videos recently. I don't care for RVing. I think it is a relic of the 1980s and 90s, and that it's going the way of the dodo bird. If you look at the market, you look at everything going on, it is dying away very quickly. And I don't care for RVing. Nothing about it really excites me. The RV parks, I get more mad at them than I do anything because they don't have the fishing amenities that they boast. They misuse the Pittman-Robertson Act funds. I don't like it. But a houseboat is a different matter. And I think that'd be fun. It is something from my childhood. You see houseboats everywhere. If you ever watch Zach Skipper, he has a houseboat. It's something that is part of Florida history. If you watch Pelican Bone Outdoors, or you watch Outside the Levees, any of those channels, Dat Louisiana Life, those types of channels, they have houseboats and things of that nature on their channel. A lot of counties in Florida have outlawed houseboats. They've made it nearly impossible to have a houseboat anymore. And I think that's sad. It is a part of our heritage. People used to have a camp life existence, and most people these days do not understand what a camp life existence is. And the people that have houseboats today, it is a quiet reflection upon where they came from. And to share that with my wife and to be on a houseboat on St. Johns River, I think it's worth the investment just for us. And naturally, if I do something, I'm going to bring you along. That's what this channel is about. You're along for the ride. So I'm interested in that. So I want to do that. I would like to do it this year. If not, definitely next year. One thing that I want to do this year, possibly, if not next year, I want to do a multi-day trip to Alabama where I take my boat or I use somebody else's boat, whatever, I don't care, and set up the jug lines. And because it's illegal to jug fish in Florida, you cannot jug fish. And really and truly, we've had so much mismanagement of the resources. Santa Rosa and Escambia counties have both dumped thousands of gallons of untreated sewage into the waters. And the FWC, they have totally mismanaged the waters. I just went to a state lake, and for the past 4 years, it's been unnavigable due to seaweeds, or not seaweeds, but vegetation like water milfoil, things of that nature. And they're not doing anything. To say that the state and the local governments are taking half measures is giving them too much credit. So I want to do that. I want to do a multi-day fishing trip where I'm put out jug lines in Alabama, fish for maybe some stripers, fish for crappie, because we don't have a lot of crappie here. We do have crappie in some locations. Like I said, I went to that state lake. It's one of the few places that has crappie. They just about killed all the fish in the lake, and you can't fish it. It's unreal. There's not many places in this area where you can catch crappie, what we call speckled perch. I'd love to go to Alabama. They've got a lot more of that. Fish for a few other critters. So that's something. Maybe go to Guntersville. I've always wanted to fish Guntersville. Or some other lake or river system in Alabama, but I want to do a multi-day thing. But before I do that, state of Alabama has a law that we do not have in Florida. And so because of my age, I'm exempt from having to do boater safety in Florida. And I need to do a boater safety course. It is not the easiest thing to do in Florida because most people don't have to take it. And Alabama, it's a requirement for everybody, no age restriction, no age exemption. So I am definitely going to have to get certified. Some places have a boater safety card that they give you that's recognized by the FWC. If not, then you have to take it in Alabama, which is a multi-day experience because you have to do the whole class. And then you have to travel back to the state of Alabama and every so often get a ID card because they do theirs on your driver's license. Florida does not. So if I do it in Florida, I'm hoping that Alabama will take that ID card that I have from the state of Florida saying I took the boater safety course. But I think they require a picture, which that card does not have a picture. So I may have to end up going to Alabama and getting an ID card anyway. So me just going to Alabama to fish or me going to Georgia and fishing with a boat is more difficult than me fishing in Florida. But the fishing is actually better in Alabama and Georgia than it is in Florida, at least in my area. So I'm thinking that's worth it for me to do that. I'm wanting to get back into hunting and fishing again, as I mentioned. So on this bucket list is that I want to do some squirrel hunts and some deer hunts. I don't know when that's going to happen. I've got to, because normally using a shotgun or using a rifle, you either have to be on public lands, but if you do public lands, that's got all kind of issues with it, or you have to do private land. That's a different set of issues. And so I've got to get my act together and come up with a solution. I would love to go to Louisiana because now, we have some here in Florida. Don't get me wrong. We have Nutri here in Florida, and we have Gallinule here in Florida. But a very small number compared to what's in Louisiana. That's the reason why I said Louisiana. Mississippi's got a bunch. But I would like to go to some state, probably Louisiana, and fish and hunt, specifically hunt for gallinule, which if you've never seen gallinule, that is a fantastic little critter, and nutria. Nutria is invasive, and I want to go. I've always been excited about them, even as a child. So that's something I wanted to do. I mentioned the wreck. Before the wreck, I was heavily involved in politics. I go Christmas time in December, go to the governor's mansion. I knew all the elected officials from the federal government on back. Whenever a president would come, I'd be one of the ones behind him whenever you see those people. I knew a lot of the Secret Service agents. I held a very low-level elected position for a while. And I say very low level. But I had security clearances. I had background references and background checks that allowed me access to high-level political officials. And then I had a bunch of things I was involved in that most people don't realize what I was involved with, that had a traumatic impact on the state. And I left all that and decided I was going to go out on my own, start a business, do my own thing, and then the wreck happened. And I've been recovering since then. And so it has been a struggle. I don't tell people the amount of a struggle it's been. And someone told me, said, Ken, you didn't stumble. You were crushed. And I literally was crushed. I was folded up in a vehicle like a taco. I was crushed. And last Sunday, I had never seen this psalm in the Bible. It is Psalm 143 and section 3 of 143 really stood out. And it was David. And he was at his lowest point, really. And I didn't realize it, but that prayer in Psalm 143, I had said that prayer more times than I care to count. And I didn't realize wasn't word for word, I'm not saying that. It's basically the same words that David uttered. And the pastor said that is a prayer for breath. It is not a prayer for victory. It is a prayer just for breath. Allow me to breathe, God. And that's where I've been for the past few years. I'm not a suicidal person. Understand this. And I don't talk about my faith a lot because there's some bad actors out there. And I think when the end times come and we're allowed to know everything, that more evil's been done in the name of Jesus than good. And that evil has been perpetrated by people that profess to believe in Jesus. Just being honest. It is the followers of God and Jesus that do most of the evil, I believe. And that's my own personal opinion. And you see it on YouTube, these guys, they're, for lack of a better term, whoring around with every woman they can find, having children by whoever, whenever. And they always show themselves saying the blessing. They're talking about their Christianity. That ain't me. So if you're struggling, Psalm 143, it's a breath of air is what you're praying for. And there's not a day, 7 days a week, that I don't pray something very similar to Psalm 143 and just say, Lord, just take me away if you're not going to do anything. I'm done. And that it's been that way for far too long in my life. And as I mentioned before, the videos, they don't cover what it costs for me to produce it. And I have to be very careful what I put on the channel. There's a monetary cost and then there's also impact. This year, expect probably a lot more unboxings. A lot more unboxings and reviews where I am not actually buying the items because I do not have the ability to buy the items. I was trying to explain, if you got a business, you need to understand that I am a long format creator. I am not a small format creator. So if you know anything about black powder is measured by the size of the granules. And so it's done in F. 1F is the biggest granule, 2F is a little smaller, all the way up to 4F. Sorry about that. My dog, he's barking at delivery driver. But as I was saying, if you think about black powder, so you got the size of the granules, you got, 1F is the biggest, and then you go 2F and 3F and 4F. The number of Fs is a smaller granule. So the reason why that's important is that a 1F or 2F powder is a very slow burn, and it's got a very specific purpose. Whereas you get something like 4F powder, it's a flash, it's a very explosive, very quick, one and done. Whereas 1F or 2F, it's a very, very slow burn. And they have purposes. There's a reason to have that separation. You don't want to put 4F in your black powder rifle to shoot with because it'll blow up on you. You need a little slower burn. But you might put, some 3F powder or 4F powder in there if you got a flintlock to actually set off that combustion. So you got long format and short format creators. We're totally different. Short format, they're kind of a one and done, 30 seconds, no more than a minute, and you're not going to get much longevity out of a short format video, but you'll get a massive audience. Long format is different. So like the pictures or the trees in my background here, they're evergreens. YouTube has a thing called evergreen content. So for long format creators, the goal for us is that we would love to get a massive explosion of video. None of us are going to say we don't want a massive explosion. But the real goal is that we put a video out into the world, and then a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it is still gaining subscribers, it's gaining views, and it's gaining an income for us that it is producing every single year. Like these evergreens that no matter what the temperature is, they're always going to be green. We want our videos to be the same way. And so I have to tell companies and explain to companies that I'm not a short format content creator and that they don't understand what it's like. They don't understand content creators. They don't understand the difference. And they don't understand what I do for their business. For their business, if they go with me, I have a unique skill set that allows me to get my unboxing review videos as a top return on Google. So if you go back and look at some of my videos that I've done, and you take that name brand and you take that product and you type it into Google, within a year, I'll be in the top 5 videos that's returned back on your query. By the end of a year, going into over a year, I'll be the number 1 return every single time. Think of Bass Dash. Bass Dash reached out to me and provided some very quality hunting and fishing gear, specifically the Walker jacket. The other day I checked it, my video is number 3. I just did that a few months ago. This year, by the end of this year, I predict that if you look up Bass Dash and you look up the Walker jacket, it's going to be a number 1 return. Now, that video is not to a quality that I liked. I'll probably redo one for Bass Dash because really and truly, I was not happy with it. I had a video card that was going out on me and I didn't know it. And these companies, they say they want me to be done within 30 to 45 days. Well, if you have a problem, it takes longer. And a lot of them don't want to do that. And so I won't redo that video. I'll probably redo that video in the future. But you look at all these different companies, I'm a top return. 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, my video is driving buyers. I think the reason that a lot of companies don't see the bang for their buck is that they're used to these small format content creators and they give me a coupon code. I've had a number of people reach out to me and say, Ken, I tried using a coupon code that you did on a video last year and it no longer works. So I went with a competitor. And then I talked with the company and they're like, well, we only let it go for 30 days. I'm like, why? Don't do that. I'm driving you business. This is evergreen content. You've got to treat it differently. So I try to tell the businesses what to expect and that they need a permanent promo code because I'll be driving business 2 to 3 years down the road when they've done forgot about me. That's just the way long format content creation is. But recently I had one company, I had to break it down for them. I thought, well, I need to tell my subscribers this, and anybody that's got a business wanting to invest in YouTube, I want you to understand what you're going into. Every single month, I get 10 to 20 requests. All right, so this month, this is January 19th, I'm recording this. I have already received 15, or a little less than 15, requests to collaborate. By the end of the month, I've gotten anywhere from about 20, 25. Different months have vary a little bit, but that is what I normally get. And every year it seems to be a little bit more, so that number is changing. So you can adjust saying, hey, look, this guy has 10,000 versus my 2,400 and something subs. Somebody has, 10,000. They're going to have way more. They may have 100 a month. They may have 150. And you get somebody that has 50,000 or 100,000 subs, they're no longer doing the free stuff like I do. Mine, you don't pay me. And I just, I do an unboxing review. I don't charge anything. You get to 50,000, 100,000 subs, one 30-second ad may be worth over $50,000. Just to let you know how much these content creators make off of these ads. And so I've done unboxings and things of that nature for Strapino, which is a fantastic strap company. If you need a ratchet strap, they are the number one company I go to. I actually bought them for Christmas gifts, bought some straps. So I actually use the products and I buy the products that I come back and say, hey, look, this is a good product. But I have that 10 to 20. I'll have about 5 to 10 that I'll actually choose. And I'll say, all right, I will use your product and I will do a review. And out of that 5 to 10, I will actually have 1 to 2 that actually send the product. Case in point, I'm doing a review right now on Cooking for Ken, or not a review, a cooking portion on Cooking for Ken, or with Ken. I had a company offer a juicer. I told them when I needed it. They said they were sending it. Never sent it. I had a company that was supposed to send me this fantastic piece of cookingware. Never sent it. I get offers all the time. I spend hours answering these people back only for them to be wasting my time. Just so you understand, it takes me a minimum of 30 to 45 days to get a video filmed. In our contract, there'll be talking points that they want me to bring out. And then there will be certain things that they want me to say in the video. And I'll say those. I'm still giving an honest video. I'm just doing what they're asking. If the equipment's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap. But I'm still going to say what they say it says, or what it will do. So I walk a tightrope. I have to be careful how I do it, but I do a lot of times I go in these not believing their claims until I've actually done it. So a lot of times the end of the video, which gets the least amount of watches, has my real reaction. But it'll take days to weeks to actually film, because sometimes I have to find a location. I have to plan what I'm going to say in the video. Even though I don't script anything, I got to plan, I give so many minutes for this, so many minutes for that. I have to orchestrate all that out, film it. And then sometimes, like, for instance, the Eurosi camera. If you go back to that, I had one camera totally fail. Then I had another one that they sent me back. There's another one coming out this year. It was for car covers. Total fail. I spent weeks trying to make it work, and it would not work. Total fail. So it takes me 30 to 45 days to film it and edit it. And then after I edit it, I give them a week to look at it. They do not get rights to edit anything out. They do not get rights to say anything. It is downloaded to YouTube. It's just hidden from the general public. After a week, it goes live. And the number of companies reaching out has increased as the channel has grown. You will see more of them. Now, starting November 1st of every year, that 20 requests a month, that 20 requests turns into 20 requests a week. That's because they're trying to get into the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all those sales going on. I don't know why they wait until November 1st, but they always do, and then they want me to have it done before Thanksgiving. That ain't going to happen. And then you got those that they're wanting after Black Friday. So starting around December 15th, I will get 20 requests every 3 days, or even less, every other day. And they're wanting it done before Christmas. They're wanting it done next week, next 2 weeks. That ain't happening. So what I'm doing now is that, so starting right now, or actually last 2 years, what I've done, starting around December, mid-November, I just ignore all the requests. I'll pick back up December 26th, December 27th. If anybody's really serious, there is a market for where people return items. They have money and they're wanting to exchange items. There is a brief period there, and then we also have tax season coming up, and people getting refunds early. I do those, but other than that, I just ignore them now. I mean, there's days that I would get 50 requests in one day, and they're all wanting it done within a week. That ain't happening. And the ones I did reach out to, a lot of them, they wanted me just to, they didn't even want to send me the product to look at and touch. They just want me to advertise to you. I'm not doing that. So I'm only bringing to you items that I believe in. And if it's crap and I thought it was going to be good, guess what? I'm going to tell you it was crap. And I hate doing that. I hate saying a company's crap because I know the power of a content creator to destroy a business. But I also understand, as much as I bemoan how little money I have and how hard it is, I understand the same thing is true for you. You're in good company. I understand your money is hard to earn. It's hard to hold on to. And if there's a company out there promising the world and they can't deliver, I'm going to call them out on it. So you're going to see a lot of unboxings because it's more feasible for me to do unboxings than it is for all the fishing trips and everything else that I love to do that gets no response on my channel. If more people start supporting my hunting and fishing, to the point that the algorithm would pick it up, then I'll reward it by doing more. But I am doing this at my leisure. I'm doing it at my pleasure. And so when I go on a hunting and fishing trip, it's for me. And I'm filming it to show you so that you can enjoy it too. But in reality, I know that I will not get the views that I get versus me unboxing a hummingbird feeder. I understand it. The demographics, the way it works, it's crazy. It don't make sense, but it is what it is. If you are a company, I get companies that reach out to me and they say, oh, I think you would love this product. I think you would love this product. And I tell most of them no. But like one of them was a doll dressed up as a monkey. And they say, but these are adult dolls. And we have a huge following on TikTok. And we think that you would do great with it. Those dolls need to stay on TikTok. They do not belong on my channel. They do not belong on YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey or any of the other platforms that this channel is on. They need to stay on TikTok, and I am not going to be bringing them to my subscribers to consider. But if you do want to have a product that you want to bring to my subscribers, here's something that I'm interested in. First of all, I mentioned about the kayak or one-man boat. If you got something that's pedal-powered or electric-powered, I am interested. By the same token, if you do electric batteries, I am interested in electric batteries because I use them a lot. You'll see some videos coming up where I had to buy some electric batteries for some projects. The lithium iron phosphate batteries, they are now my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love them to death. And I would love to get with a company that does lithium iron phosphate and showcase the batteries. Because right now I'm buying off Temu and Amazon. Those are two places you shouldn't be buying lithium iron phosphate batteries because there's too many scammers on those platforms. But that's another thing. Air rifles. Now, I'm not talking about BB gun, and I'm not talking about the .177 caliber pellet rifles. I'm talking about 22 caliber or above, and it needs to be shooting at over 1,000 feet per second. So if you are interested in pellet rifles, one of the things I want to do, Florida now allows air rifles to be used for hunting purposes. And so that means you can shoot squirrels, you can shoot all kinds of things. And I want me an air rifle. So if either I'm going to be buying one very soon, or if there's a company who wants to do some type of deal, I'd be willing to do an air rifle. Fishing equipment. So I've got a contest going right now with Preacher's Creatures Lures. He sent me some baits. We worked out a deal. I'm doing a contest. I'm giving away some of the baits that he produced. You need to watch that video. Some of y'all watching this right now are from that video, that your new subscribers caused that video, and I thank you. But if you do rod and reels, you do nets, you do lures, terminal tackle, anything of that nature, and you want to reach out, I'll do a fishing video, I'll do an unboxing or review. That's something I'm interested in, something I think that my subscribers be interested in. E-bikes. So I did a review of the Electric 2.0. That is not my e-bike. It was borrowed. It is doing phenomenal right now. The analytics are through the roof. Everybody loves that review. And it was just a borrowed e-bike. First time I'd ever been on one. I took it out for a few days. I was playing with it at the RV park. We was doing some RVing. And in an RV park, you absolutely need an e-bike. And I'll be doing a lot of RVing in the future because that's what my wife's wanting to get into. So I need an e-bike. She needs an e-bike. I need an e-bike. We're going to have to either buy them or somebody needs to provide them for me to do a video. But I am going to be getting e-bikes soon no matter what. Those things are not cheap. But I would love to continue on with my Fish Around and Find Out series. Haven't been able to do it recently because the weather's been horrible, and also the fisheries here have been bad because of the sewage and other things, government mismanagement. But when I go to other areas, take e-bike and rod and reel, fish around, find out, I want to do that more. And so I think it would be a benefit to the channel. And of course, I provide a financial benefit to companies. Cameras are something that I always need. As I mentioned, I got three channels. You'd be surprised at the number of cameras out there that $200, $300, $400 that do not perform. My GoPro is one of the worst cameras I own. The cameras that most of these guys that are big content creators have, minimum $1,000 in their camera equipment, and a lot of times even more. The GoPro is the backup. The DJI is the backup. The Insta360 is the backup. Most of the big guys, they're shelling out thousands of dollars for cameras. I can't do that. And really and truly, the ones watching my channel, they can't afford it either. So if you got a cheaper camera that's more affordable, that might do the trick, send it my way. I'll look at it. I've had some companies do that. I bought some. They failed. Every one of them failed. They missed the mark. But you never know. There may be a competitor out there that has a decent product. I had a camera company I was working with, and the moment they realized I'm not giving them full control over my video, that I own the video copyright, and I have 100% say, they backed out because they didn't want some content creator saying that their product sucked. And so if you got a good product, I'm willing to try it out, especially if it's camera. Same thing with microphones. Microphones are something that we need all the time. I don't have a microphone set up because if I'm out in the environment, GoPro, they have special encoding that most microphone companies do not have. And with the cell phone, I have a case on my cell phone, and most cell phone companies with their cases, the microphones that they have available for them, it doesn't work. Or the battery is so bad that it doesn't work. But if you got a good microphone, I'm willing to try it. So that's something to let me know about. I'm willing to consider it. Cooking and kitchen stuff. Blenders. I don't really need a lot of blenders. I already got a Ninja blender. I really like the Ninja blender. But if you got a blender, I use an immersion blender. Those things burn out all the time. Love immersion blenders. They just don't have the longevity. About 2 or 3 years is most you're going to get out of one of them, and then it's toast. Love them. They're worth their weight in gold. I need a juicer. I don't drink juice, but I use juiced products for stuff. Good quality cookingware. I'll do an unboxing for you on this channel, and then I'll actually use it on my Cooking with Ken channel. So if you got any type of kitchen equipment, bartending equipment, anything of that nature, let me know. We could work something out. Art stuff. Now, my wife would contend that I've got all the art stuff I need, but when you're doing quotes for 50 paintings at one time, paints go away very quickly upon usage, and brushes, upon usage, they deteriorate. I have been on a quest for the best acrylic paints and the best paintbrushes that I can find. And I have found that the market is full of garbage. For my acrylic paints, I believe that needs to have a large quantity of the actual acrylic media in it, and that it needs to also have a lot of pigment in it. And I've gone so far as to, on my channel, actually creating my own pigments and buying the media separately to make my own paints, because the stuff that I buy is not worth it. And right now, the best in the market that I have found has been Master's Touch. I absolutely hate Hobby Lobby. And I have found that the small little containers of paint that they have in their kits is miles apart different from the big tubes. So I bought the big tubes because I like to give them color, and the performance was far less in the big tube versus little tube. They put different stuff in those small tubes than they did big tubes. And so I need a good art company that has good paints, good brushes, good everything that I can actually support you. And I'm willing to try it. I'd do an unboxing, and then I'd actually use you on my channel if I liked you. So that's the deal. I have multiple channels. Is that this channel we would do the unboxings, and then I would use it where it's appropriate on my other channels. Tools. So I am not a handyman. I am not somebody that keeps up my yards to fare thee well, or I can fix anything. I'm not that guy. But I have to do a lot of repairs. I have to do a lot of yard work. I have to do a lot of stuff that I don't want to do because I can't afford somebody to do it for me. And so, like I had a company a while back that they did a ladder. That's probably one of the best ladders I've seen in a long, long time. So the name of that ladder company, by the way, was Dezex, Dezex. I did the 16.5-foot telescoping ladder. Right now, that video is number 4 on Google when you query it. So I want to thank the company, by the way. You should get that ladder. Look at that video on this channel here. But if you got any type of tools, so I've got a light that I did. JCLGL is the company, I believe it was. And they gave me a light, and I've used them before, multiple videos. Fantastic LED light, gets super hot. I mean, it's putting out so much light, it's blinding. So, of course, it gets hot. It has a heat sink in it, so you don't burn yourself, doesn't burn up the equipment. It's well built. Those are the companies I like to work with, that they have tools that I'm willing to say, you know what, I'm going to actually use this, and you need to try it. So, that any type of tools or equipment or something that I think a lot of people will be interested in. I've done a lot of lighting videos. I really don't have much lighting needs for my boat or anything of that nature. I've done some for my goddaughter's car. But if you have security cameras, security lights, anything of that nature, I'd be willing to work with you. That's something I'm interested in. Hunting and fishing equipment, again. Any type of clothing, binoculars, rangefinders, even though I got a rangefinder, any type of hunting and fishing equipment, like I mentioned before, you got something that's unique, I'm willing to try it and willing to tell my viewers. So fishing has been very rough. The last 3 or 4 times I went fishing, I failed. It's been a struggle. It snowed here yesterday. So January 18th, it snowed. The temperatures of the water is getting enough now for striper fishing, but by the time I actually get to take my boat out and go fishing, the water's going to warm up to where it's too warm for striper. And that's where I'm running into a problem with my job, with a bunch of other obligations I have, that I'm just not able to get out and do the hunting and fishing in a timely manner that I need to. So it's been rough. I went to that state lake. You will see that video coming up, and I'm probably going to have to edit it because I was dog cussing the FWC because they've had 4 years to fix this and they still can't get it fixed. I told them solutions. You think of the USS Oriskany. I was on that board that sank the Oriskany, made the artificial reef. I've been on boards that helped clean up the bay that the counties have screwed up again, putting in oyster reefs, because oyster can filter out anywhere between 35 to 50 gallons of water a day. And when you put out thousands of oyster beds and you put fouling gear so people can't scoop them up and profit off of them, and you just let them do what oysters were meant to do, what God put them on this earth to do, you can clean up a waterway very quickly so long as the government isn't putting untreated raw sewage into the water. So I've dealt with a lot of stuff with wildlife and natural resources. I understand how things work, and I've offered some solutions, and I was laughed at by the FWC. And you talk to these government agencies, and again, if they were doing, I can't even say they're doing half measures because that's giving them too much credit. Then try and do some crappie fishing, that's not panning out. There's very few places in this area where you can crappie fish, what we call speckled perch. I would like to do some striper fishing. I've got some fishing tool videos coming out very soon and different ways to rig. And in order for me to do that, I think it's disingenuous for me to say, oh, rig it this way or use this tool and you'll have so much success. No, I've actually got to take it out and show you. And so that's the other catch is when I get all these videos done where I'm doing the equipment, showing you how to do it, how it works, using it. So that has been a sense of struggle for me. But we will get that done. We'll get those videos out shortly, get back on track once the art estimates are done and get some other things handled. The last element I want to talk about is I just want your views. What do you want to see? I mean, this is my channel. This is my life. It's got to make sense to me. But what do you like enjoying watching out of my channel? I want to hear from you. Do you like watching me do reviews and unboxings? Do they provide benefit to you or not? Has my repair videos helped you out some? I get some comments on my videos saying, thank you, you showed me how to fix something. I'm like, I am the worst person in the world to show you how to fix something. But if I can help you, I'm happy to do it. I've had a lot of people tell me that I oversimplify things. And that should be common knowledge. A lot of my audience is young men. When I say young, I'm talking about 20, 30s, somewhere around there. So they may not have had a dad to teach them anything, or an uncle, or anybody. Or maybe they was like me and they didn't want to pay attention because they was young and stupid. I never wanted to repair anything. I didn't want to learn how to do that. So if I oversimplify things, which I think is funny because I'm anywhere other than YouTube, I'm told I overcomplicate things. But if I oversimplify things, it's because I want to make it where people that may not have the opportunity to learn or know that they're able to do it. I want to empower people. So understand that. Bear with me if it seems too simplistic to you. I get a lot of trolls, but my subscribers are probably the best subscribers on YouTube. They're genuine people that they care about others, and they tend to get it. The trolls, they're going to troll, and I don't care what I give them as good as they sound. I look at them, I know that they're not subscribers. It's nothing for me to look up and see if they're a subscriber. And I fire back just as good as they send, and I do it in a very nice way. I'll cuss them out in church language. My favorite one is that they say my videos are too long and that I'm too long-winded. And I'm like, well, you know what? When you do a video on this subject, I will be the first to watch it. And I mean it. I'm not being a jerk. I mean, yeah, I am being a jerk. I am letting them know, if you think you can do better than me, just do it. But there is a genuineness to it. I tell them, tag me in. I'll be the first to watch it. I have no pride in me. Not to where I can say I'm infallible. If you can do it better than me, tag me in. I won't watch it. I'll probably and I'm more likely I'll say something positive in the comments. But if you're one of those that you can't do anything, you're one of those that you want to be on the keyboard just tapping away criticisms because you don't really have any experience or know-how, and you just want to dog somebody because you're so miserable in your life that tearing others down is the only way you think you can get your power back, bugger off. I don't need you. I don't want you as a subscriber. None of my subscribers want you as a subscriber. Go away. Bother somebody else. She fly. But most people watching this video, especially if you went to this part, you're the true people. You're the true fans. You're the ones I want to know your input. That's the reason why I asked it for last. I want to know what you like to see. And if you're subscribed to my other channels, God bless you. If not, it ain't your cup of tea, I understand. There are no hard feelings with this. I'm living my life. I'm filming and showing you my life. And if you like it, great. If you don't, fine. I'm sure your life is just as rich, if not more. And God bless you for that. I'm glad you have it. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful New Year. God bless. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. All that does help out. Hype this video, because hyping is a new thing that YouTube is doing. It helps us get out to other people. If you're not in that subscriber giveaway, that link and that video will be at the end of this video. It'll be in the description. Get in on it if you like fishing stuff. If you don't like fishing stuff, sorry. Tell me what you want to see a giveaway on. We'll do that. Maybe. But right now we're doing the fishing tackle giveaway, some lures, soft plastic lures. February 7th is going to be the draw date. If you know me, you know why February 7th is important. If you don't know me, then don't worry about it. February 7th is the deadline. And with that, guys, I'll see you again next time. Bye.